really, I am looking very forward to the debate.
So breaking news this morning, President Trump has agreed to a 4-hour debate that was hosted by Joe Rogan with a live stream with no live audience. This will propose on a Joe Rogan podcast with Tim Kennedy. He says, on my podcast with Joe Rogan, he offered to moderate a debate between Biden and Trump. It would be 4 hours, no live audience, just the two candidates' cameras, their vision to move this country forward. Who wants this? Trump replied, I do. We're all waiting with bated breath to see whether Biden is.
I would not hold your breath on that one.
He's not going to have it. However, it's an awesome idea. We have some exclusive and interesting new polling that we wanted to share with all of you about Joe Rogan, the potential presidential moderated debate. Of course, that didn't necessarily come to pass, but let's throw some of our exclusive Hill polling up there on the screen. Very, very interesting, okay? So it shows that 69% of voters would be net likely to watch a Joe Rogan moderated debate. 31% would be unlikely, okay? But you can even dig in a little bit more. 74% of men, 26% would say no, 65% of women, 35% say no, they would be unlikely. And then we can also have
his somewhat bro-heavy
I was going to say a little bit consistent if you consider who exactly are the biggest Rogan fanboys out there, include myself in that demographic. And GOP, actually, 80%, Dems 70%, independents only 59%. I actually wonder about why that is, Crystal. But
I'd be curious about that one too.
So there we go. There you have it, folks. America wants the Joe Rogan moderated debate. People in the press were cowards and never even asked Joe Biden if he would be willing to do it, which I consider a great journalistic outrage. But we have it here for you at the Hill. People want to see it.
We already knew the answer from Joe Biden anyway. That's why they didn't ask the question. The Republican-Dem split is interesting to me because just ideologically on the issues, Rogan is more left. He's in, not 100%, but I mean, he backed Bernie Sanders in the primary, for example. And so the fact that Republicans actually have a more sort of comfort and favorable view of him is really interesting. It reminds me of something Glenn Greenwald was writing about, which is basically like, it kind of shows the triumph of the culture wars, because while Rogan has this culturally conservative feel, but then on the issue positions is left, it actually gives him more of a comfort with the GOP base than with the Democratic base. But it also just shows you how out to lunch like Twitter liberals and pundits are, because there's such a minority perspective in terms of the way that they view Rogan and like all of their ginned up outrage about things that he's said in the past and judgment of him, a standard that they never apply when it comes to like, oh, I don't know, the people who like glide us into war and still get primetime shows and are now lauded as heroes,
What do we play
et cetera.
on the show today?